Glory to Father's glorious kingdom. My dear precious brothers and sisters, today we can read about Exodus chapter 16, verse 13. While in the morning there was a layer of dew all around the camp. When the dew had evaporated, there on the surface of the desert was a fine flaky substance as fine as frost on the ground. When the people of Israel saw it, they asked each other, "Manhu," meaning, "What is it?" because they didn't know what it was. Moshe answered them, "It is the bread which Father has given you to eat." Verse 31 says, "The people called the food manna. It was like a coriander seed, white, and it tastes like honey cakes." And associated with Numbers 11, chapter 7 to 9. The manna, by the way, was like coriander seed and white like gum resin. The people would go around gathering it and would grind it up in mills or pound it to paste with mortar and pestle. Then they would cook it in pots and make it into loaves that tasted like cakes baked with olive oil. When the dew settled on the camp during the night, the manna came with it. Numbers 11, 4 to 6. Next, the mixed crowd that was with them grew greedy for an easier life, while the people of Israel, for their part, also renewed their weeping and said, "If only we had meat to eat! We remember the fish we used to eat in Egypt. It cost us nothing, and the cucumbers, the melons, the leeks, the onions, the garlic. But now we are withering away. We have nothing to look at but this manna." Psalm 78, 23 to 25. So Father commanded the skies above and opened the doors of heaven. He rained down manna on them as food. He gave them grain from heaven. Mortals ate the bread of angels. He provided for them to the full. Could you imagine a family where mother and father are ready to serve the food at correct time, but with one speciality? No one talk each other and with the children. Just serving food and washing up the plates do not make that family a happy family. We cannot leave that family any longer. We read today, Father gave the manna in the desert. It's not just a food, but his comforting words about Jesus and his kingdom. Jesus himself quoted in Matthew chapter 4 verse 4 from Deuteronomy chapter 8 verse 3, "Father humbled you, allowing you to become hungry, and then fed you with manna, which neither you nor your ancestors had ever known, to make you understand that a person does not live on food alone, but on everything that comes from the mouth of Father." Jesus himself declared in John 6 verses 32. Jesus said to them, "Yes, indeed, I tell you, it wasn't Moshe who gave you the bread from heaven, but my Father is giving you the genuine bread from heaven. For God's bread is the one who comes down out of heaven and gives life to the world." They said to him, "Sir, give us this bread from now on." Yeshua answered, "I am the bread which is life. Whoever comes to me will never go hungry, and whoever trusts in me will never be thirsty. I told you that you have seen, but still don't trust. Everyone the Father gives me will come to me, and whoever comes to me, I will certainly not turn away." Verse 40 says, "Yes, this is the will of my Father, that all who see the Son and trust in him should have eternal life, and I should raise them up on the last day." It was interesting that at first, neither Moshe or Jesus addressed the bread of heaven as manna, but people. They asked themselves what it is. For some of them, it looked like coriander seed. For some blessed ones, it tastes like honey cakes and cakes baked with olive oil. Every day, Father wants us to comfort us with his Son Jesus and the hope which bears about his kingdom. It is the real taste of honey to our spirits. Even though we are traveling in the desert, we have a destination, a promised land, His glorious kingdom. Until we reach there, Father is with us to comfort us and guide us. But unfortunately for some people, those who are greedy for an easier life, it looks like a coriander seed, not as a honey, cakes or bread. They may complain all the way saying, "We are withering away, we have nothing to look at but this manna." They prefer Egypt's food, cucumbers, the melons, the leeks, the onions, the garlic. These all are need to collect from the ground. Actually, it leads to bondage. Because Luke 13:10 says about a miracle in which Jesus healed a woman who had been disabled by a spirit for over 18 years. She was bent over and could not straighten up at all. If we take the food from Egypt, from the bondage, that when we look at the ground all the time, at one point we will be under bondage. But Jesus is there. Jesus is ready to deliver us and give us the real food. May Father open our eyes and leads us to the truth about His glorious Son